We're in the gate. And they're off. Devil Moon is going out for the early lead. Cane Creek Road is up close. Here comes Solardi flying through along the inside, and Disco Tribute. Give Me the Loot is next. Burst in the Bowl might have bobbled. One of them to the outside did. And then it's Canderel as the trailer. Into the far turn, it's Solardi and Devil Moon going at it into the far turn with Cane Creek Road, two back in third. At the rail, Disco Tribute is fourth. Barrist in the Bold has 5 lengths to make up. Give Me the Loot. And then another 3 back to Canderel. They have a quarter of a mile to go. Devil Moon is the leader. Solardi re-rallying along the inside. Just behind them, Cane Creek Road is in third. At the rail, Give Me the Loot is making some headway. It's still wide open coming to the 16th pole. Here's Cane Creek Road on the outside, surging to the front. And it's Cane Creek Road to win it by almost a length. Give Me the Loot was second. Then it's a photo for third, a close one indeed. For third, it went to Disco Tribute, who was right on the inside of Barrist in the Bold. We're in the gate. And they're off. Golf Drama is sprinting out to battle for the early lead. Thrust is up close, and Mr. Beams in between them is quicker than both of them. Dutch Bus comes away in fourth with 3 to make up. Then Fireman Dan. John Dunbar is on the extreme outside, but only 2 lengths off the pace. L'Enfant D is in this group, along with Magnificent Ride and Quagmire Magic. You can't get much more compact than this. And Tiger's Arrow at the back of the field. It's Thrust and Mr. Beams to the 3/8 pole, leading 2.5 to L'Enfant D. Golf Drama in the lime colors is in that group too, along with Dutch Bus, who's 3.5 or 4 lengths off the lead. John Dunbar is widest of all. At the rail, Magnificent Ride, Quagmire Magic, and a distance back to Tiger's Arrow. A quarter of a mile to go. Mr. Beams and Thruster 1-2. Just behind them, Magnificent Ride running a good race with the white blinkers. Angles out for the final 1/8 of a mile, and coming after Mr. Beams. Here's Magnificent Ride with a sustained bid to the front. L'Enfant D moves up on the outside to battle for second with Mr. Beams. A clear-cut victory and an upset too for Magnificent Ride, who scores by 3.5 lengths. Second, L'Enfant D, photo between Mr. Beams and an oncoming John Dunbar, who found his best stride laid in front of Fireman Dan. The scratcher number 5, Cantaro Doro. Post time in 25 minutes. Logan's Red Falcon going in. Vader to the outside. And they're off. Heart of the Night is very quick away from the gate, opens up a length and a half, then it's a lineup behind. Logan's Red Falcon is the gray between rivals, and Prosper inches up in third. Fleet Feet is down at the rail, just 2 lengths off the lead as they take closer order. Then it's Baltazar, and it's a long way. Vader is far, far behind. Less than a half mile to travel, and it's Heart of the Night. And Jeremy Laprida cruising along on the front end by a length and a half to Logan's Red Falcon. Prosper is outside of them. Fleet Feet remains in fourth, but just 3 lengths off the lead. Then Baltazar in a distance to Vader. They're approaching the quarter pole. Logan's Red Falcon puts his head in front. Prosper on the outside moves to engage. At the rail, Heart of the Night. Fleet Feet in the yellow will try to swing to the outside. And then Baltazar, there's an 1/8 to go. Prosper in close quarters with Logan's Red Falcon. Here's Fleet Feet on the outside of them. Fleet Feet comes to Prosper at the 16th pole and right by him. It's Fleet Feet, nicely handled by Kazushi Kimura to win it going away. Logan's Red Falcon ended up out finishing Prosper, and Vader, who was absolutely nowhere, flew late for fourth. They're in the gate. And they're off. Ball Don't Lie bounces out quickly. Winterfell on the far outside has speed. Feel the Magic with early foot. And Vlahos now comes through to battle for command as well. Pony Express with some orange in the silks up close now second as they run toward the half-mile pole. Just behind this group, it's Canada Gate with the pink cap racing on the outside of Promisio. Feel the Magic is now 7 or 8 lengths off the speed. Uncle Mo's Gold, Santarena second to last, and Arabian Flirt is at the back of the field. It's Vlahos into the far turn, leading the way by a length and a half. Ball Don't Lie is in second. Winterfell, the gray, widest of all. Pony Express at the rail in fourth. Another four to Promisio inside Canada Gate. And then comes Santarena, 12 off the lead. 3 clear of Feel the Magic, Arabian Flirt, and another 4 to Uncle Mo's Gold. Vlahos, the one to catch at the top of the stretch. Ball Don't Lie chasing gamely in second. These two are dominating at the 8th pole. It's Vlahos maintaining a 3-length lead. Ball Don't Lie, 7 back. Feel the Magic finishing strongly on the outside of Santarena, but it is Vlahos. Vlahos in complete control, cruises home to win by 5. Feel the Magic, an eye-catching second. Third was Ball Don't Lie in front of Santarena, and then Winterfell completes the super high 5. Movement from Cornelia Ford acting up. And they're off. Very clean start. Madiha's out alertly. Irresistible Force is up and on the pace, and in fact going up to take the lead. Alternate Rock is in the mix early, taking second. Madiha wrangled back, and then comes Cornelia Fort, first time in forever, 3 deep. Real Fire goes 4 wide into the first turn. My Favorite Daughter is right together with Thrum Stream, and it's a gap of 6 to Irish Patsy with no early speed. Rounding the clubhouse turn, and it's Irresistible Force showing the way, leading by about a half a length. First time in forever moves to engage in second. Then comes Alternate Rock, who's wrangled back in between horses. Madiha tugging fiercely along the rail, and Real Fire outside of that pair is going right after them now and taking the 3rd spot. Just behind them, Cornelia Fort. Thrum Stream is in the green at the rail. My Favorite Daughter second to last, and Irish Patsy at the back of the field. They're heading to the 3/8 pole, and Irresistible Force has been there throughout. In second comes First Time in Forever, Real Fire outside of them, Madiha at the rail. Alternate Rock, still a close-up 5th, 4 lengths off the lead. Then Cornelia Fort outside of Thrum Stream. My Favorite Daughter, 8 off them, and trailing throughout Irish Patsy. They have a 1/4 mile to go. Irresistible Force with a host of pursuers. First Time in Forever between them. Real Fire on the outside. Madiha waiting for a spot, and here's Thrum Stream kicking to high gear on the outside. Here's Thrum Stream in the center of the course trying to get to Irresistible Force, and First Time in Forever. Thrum Stream with good momentum, catching them in the final strides, and Thrum Stream got up. Irresistible Force was second. First Time in Forever third. Battle for fourth between Irish Patsy and Madiha. Odds on favorite goes in without any issue. If you ain't first, you're last. The last one to load. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Santa Isabel. And Kinza had a very smooth start. Ultimate Authority, Shiloh's Princess between. She's a Tempest is up close. Up to claim second. Navy Bell in the red. Where's My Ring has to go very wide into the first turn. Ultimate Authority backs off. The 2 trailers Pacific Rose. And if you ain't first, you're last. Kinza sets the tempo and leads it by about a length, with She's a Tempest in second, and down at the rail, Shiloh's Mistress is third, 2 lengths off them. Navy Bell settles in fourth with 5 to make up, followed on the outside by Where's My Ring. Ultimate Authority inches up at the rail. Pacific Rose is next, and if you ain't first, you're last at the back. Less than 5/8 to travel. It's Kinza and Juan Hernandez controlling the tempo, leading it by a length to She's a Tempest second. Then Shiloh's Mistress, Navy Bell is fourth, 4 off the lead. Where's My Ring is 3 wide on the outside of Ultimate Authority, Pacific Rose. And If You Ain't First, You're Last remains far behind. 3/8 to travel, Kinza to catch, letting it out a notch. Has not been asked to run and leads it by 2. She's a Tempest, fully extended in second. They're followed by Where's My Ring on the outside into third. Navy Bell is next. Ultimate Authority is starting to pick up some momentum, but will be caught very wide as the field turns for home. Kinza in command, turns for home with a 4-length lead that keeps increasing. She's a Tempest. Where's My Ring? Outside Ultimate Authority continues to gain some ground, but Kinza is completely in control. And this is another tour de force for the undefeated Kinza, who could not have possibly been more impressive in winning the Santa Isabel, wrapped up by more than 5 lengths. Where's My Ring was second. She's My Tempest in front of Ultimate Authority and Shiloh's Mistress. A very nice filly indeed. Her name is Kinza. Last one is Daniel's Magic. And they're off in the San Simeon. And it's a very fast beginning for Mucho del Oro, who sprints through on the inside to take the lead. Dancing Buck is right with him in second, and just behind them, Air Force Red, showing his natural early foot in third. Daniel's Magic is fourth through the opening furlong. He was just passed by Ottoman Prince, and Lane Way is only 4 lengths off the lead, racing 2 clear of Irideo, and Sumter is at the back of the field, 6 lengths front to back. Down the hill and past the half-mile pole, Mucho del Oro will be the target. Leads at a length and a half. Dancing Buck and Air Force Red racing side by side. Just behind them comes Ottoman Prince. Daniel's Magic on the far outside is 2 lengths off the lead. Lane Way will be looking for racing room. He's doing so right now. Lane Way, white cap behind rivals. Irideo is next, followed by Sumter. They're at the top of the stretch. Mucho del Oro tries to sprint clear. Dancing Buck is coming after him in second. Lane Way still with 4 to make up. Inside the 8th pole, Mucho del Oro, 2-length lead. Dancing Buck trying hard. Outside, Sumter is coming with a furious late bid, as is Lane Way, but it's Mucho del Oro all the way in the San Simeon. Dancing Buck in a photo with Lane Way, Sumter, and Irideo is next. We're in the gate. And they're off in the B. Wayne Hughes Beholder Mile, and Sweet Azteca bounces out perfectly. Adair Manor comes away in second. Desert Dawn is close up in the early stages, and so is Green Up, moving to be a joint second. Interstate Daydream is in the second flight behind the Pacemaker. Window Shopping second to last, and Coffee in Bed is 6 lengths off the lead as they move toward the back stretch. So Flavian Pratt gets Sweet Azteca over to the rail and is leading well in hand, just a half length in front of Green Up in second. Interstate Daydream third, and Adair Manor is down on the inside. Desert Dawn between rivals, 3 or so off the leader. Then Window Shopping and Coffee in Bed. They're heading toward the half-mile pole. And it is Sweet Azteca cruising along with a length advantage, tracked intently by Green Up second. Adair Manor eager along the rail. Interstate Daydream, Desert Dawn splits that pair. Window Shopping 4 wide around the far turn, and then Coffee in Bed. Sweet Azteca passes the 3/8 pole, still in command by a length to Green Up second. Adair Manor has to get closer and is doing so along the rail. She's now taking second with a quarter of a mile to go, but has to catch Sweet Azteca, who stretches out today and opens up a 3-length lead. Sweet Azteca with plenty in the tank. Adair Manor clearly into second, and then Green Up in third. Inside the 8th pole, and Sweet Azteca has a 3-length lead. Adair Manor is trying so hard with those big strides, but it's Sweet Azteca proving she's the real deal all the way in the B. Wayne Hughes Beholder Mile. Adair Manor fired big, but was simply second best. Then it was Green Up, Desert Dawn, and Window Shopping. In the gate. And they're off. Very quick start for Lady P, who's vying for the lead, and Vision matching strides in the opening furlong, and Castagna just outside of that pair. Annie Fox broke well and sits on the inside with Breezy Blue between rivals, only 3 lengths off the lead. Then it's Have Patience inside Jane Kende. Pipa Felipa on the outside have headed for Ohm. Those two 6 off the lead. The 2 trailers are Marilyn Monroe and Club Teaser at the back of the field. Lady P, Castagna on the outside moves to challenge, and down at the rail, Envision, 3 of them right across the course. Breezy Blue, Jane Kende looming up on the outside, then Annie Fox, Have Patience, the gray behind horses. They're at the top of the stretch and headed for Ohm. Is kicking in with a good stretch kick on the far outside. Here comes headed for Ohm with good looking strides too, blowing by them late. Breezy Blue comes through on the inside, but it's headed for Ohm. Flavian Pratt with another. Jane Kende second. Photo for third. It was close between Breezy Blue and a flying Club Teaser who came from nowhere. Have Patience just behind them.
Hi, everybody. Sorry for coming on a little bit late, but let's face it, everybody's a little bit groggy after springing forward last night. The clocks were turned ahead 1 hour. And what that means going forward is first post here at St. Anita is 1 o'clock. That means the seminar is supposed to start at 11:50 a.m. My name's Tom Quigley, your seminar host for the next 36 minutes or so. And sitting next to me is a gentleman who's a wagering ambassador at Santa Anita, but he's got a lot more to tell us as well. His name, Jason Avila. Jason, welcome to the seminar. Happy Sunday.
Good morning, TK.
You look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and all fresh, and you should be, because one of the things you accomplished yesterday is you won a seat to the National Handicapping Championship. The timing was perfect. It's going to be next week in Las Vegas, Nevada. Congratulations on that victory.
Thank you so much. Yeah, couldn't have come at a better time. And like I said, I think you're good luck. You might have to start texting me in the morning before tournaments.
I hope you're good luck for the seminar today as well. But congratulations. You've qualified before for the NHC.
Yeah, I have. It's been a while. But yeah, I've been wanting to get back, and I started trying a little bit this year, and better late than never. So
it sure is. Well, speaking about better late than never, you've been in the game for quite some time. You look rather young, but you started coming to the game at the age of 6 when your grandfather taught you to read the racing form. You must have fell in love with the game right away if he started you off at that young age.
Yeah, I loved the horses from the first time I remember being here, and that was kind of the draw. And then I just had a thing I didn't read very well when I was young, but for whatever reason, when he started showing me horses and teaching me numbers and stuff like that, I just took to it like a duck in water, and yeah, it's in my blood.
You followed that passion so much, Jason, that you actually went to the racetrack industry program at the University of Arizona as well. A lot of famous alumni: Bob Baffert, Todd Pletcher, the late Luke Kreitbus. Who was your most famous classmate that you went to school with?
Who, most famous? Probably Phil D'Amato.
Okay, yeah, he's kind of famous.
Hometown boy. Yeah.
Did you guys hang out together over there in Tucson?
We were buddies. We were buddies there. Had a good time. A lot of OTB hours and simulcast wagering and golfing, and yeah, it was a blast. It was a good time.
All joking aside, it's a great program, right? If we want to get in the industry, I've been there many times representing the magazine I used to own, and always had a great time. Because just like the National Handicapping Championship, it's kind of a convention of people who love the sport, both in terms of being a classmate or being a student, I should say, at the racetrack industry program. And then when they have the annual symposium, that was always a kind of a lights out event.
Yeah, for me, it was, it's a great place to network. For me, it was kind of a must because I didn't have family in the game. And that's really, at that time, this was a long time ago, that was the only way I really thought I could meet some people and try to, and I was horrible at school still. So the only way I graduated with a degree from college is because of the racetrack program. And I'm very thankful for that.
Well, you've parlayed that now into becoming a wagering ambassador here at Santa Anita. And I see you walking around the facility quite a bit, in the walking ring, up in the suites. There's a lot of new people who love the game but have never been here before, and they're kind of mesmerized by it. You try and break down the unique type of language we have here at the racetrack.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's, I just started doing it earlier this year, and, it's fun to be out there and help. This sport is so intimidating, especially for somebody that doesn't, know much about it.
The way we display the odds, what's 6 furlongs,
everything. And it's just been really fun for me to help people. And, I was standing out there a few weeks ago with a family, and there was an inquiry, and they're seeing the screen and what's going on, what the stewards are looking at, the blinking lights. And I'm standing there explaining it like a play-by-play. And the lady is like, she turns to me and says, and it was actually, I was right on what they decided. I thought they were going to decide what they did. She said, "Oh my God, like, we've always seen this and we don't know what's going on." She's like, "It's so nice to have you explaining it to us." And it's really gratifying. And we need it. We need to teach people. We need to help people learn so that they want to come back. And everybody that I've spent time with here that's visiting, whether it's a group or whether it's on their own with a family, they all want to come back after we've spent time with them, helping them out, whether it's wagering, how to use the machine, maybe get lucky one day and pick some winners or, make some money. So it's awesome. I'm having a great time. It's, it keeps me busy during the weekends when I can make it out here. And of course, I'm putting a couple dollars through the windows here and there.
I know that's for sure. But the visuals of Santa Anita, we call it the Great Race Place internally. But when you think about it, built in 1934, sits on 300 acres in LA County, very freeway accessible. The San Gabriel Mountains behind the backdrop, the horses, the jockeys, the silks. I mean, it's a very, very special place for those people who don't love the game. And we're lucky enough to have you kind of chaperoning them around.
Right. Yeah. And everybody says the same thing. They come out here and they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know it was this beautiful." And like, look at the charm. Look at this building. It's so, old fashioned, and it just, it's classic. Like this is awesome. They love taking pictures, showing them the good spots for pictures. And it's a beautiful place. I don't want to ever see it go away.
Both Jason and I are blessed to represent Santa Anita. We're going to try and do our best over the next 31 minutes to give you some winners on today's 9-race card. But before we attempt to do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the minimal amount of scratches on today's card here at Santa Anita.
Good afternoon and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place. The track is fast and the turf is firm. Here are the early changes. And there's only one scratch on today's card. The rail on the turf is out 20 feet. No changes in race 1. No changes in race 2. Blinker note in race 3. Fourth race starts the pick 6. Changes. The fifth race, late pick 5 begins, no changes. Turning to race number 6, scratch number 4, Desmond Doss. The morning line favorite is out, which gives us a revised morning line. In the 7th, the China Doll, no changes. Eighth race, Golden Hour, pick 4. No changes. And in the 9th, start of the Golden Hour double, no changes. Just the one scratch of Desmond Doss on today's card. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. Back to the studio with Tom and Jason.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Jason Avila. He's a new wagering ambassador here at Santa Anita. He's been following the game since the ripe old age of 6 years old with his grandfather. He's also a graduate of the University of Arizona Racetrack Industry Program. And Jason, I was taking a look over your shoulder at the tools you use to handicap. A lot of my seminar guests bring in the sheets, they bring in the racing form, but you've got something a little bit different. You rely on some different tools in order to handicap. Tell us kind of what you utilize.
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in speed figures and numbers. So I use a couple different sources for speed figures, and I kind of compare the two. I'm lucky enough to have some very smart handicapping friends in general, but very
professional
players. So I get to see kind of what they're thinking and what they have, and then obviously compare it with the racing form, which I don't really use very much, but I use it to kind of see what everybody else is going to do.
You're trying to separate yourself from the crowd.
Right. And, but yeah, I try, I used to sit there and try to, I'd say, guess or figure out what's going on or why something happened. And maybe, this trainer did this because of that. Or at the end of the day, I feel like you can just take one wrong turn there and you're on the wrong path.
Sure.
So with numbers, at least, yeah, look, all the numbers aren't always right, but if I'm going to go somewhere, it's going to be where I think that I can kind of stand on some firm footing and then kind of pivot from there. So that's where I'll start. And then I'll watch replays and throw that into the mix and kind of, go there. Lately, I've really been paying attention to the guys and gals and the horse racing world, Twitter and stuff. They get into like the fair odds type of thinking. And I think it's really important. And that's and the contest world really got me started thinking like that, because you're playing cash and you're thinking, oh, this horse is 30 to 1. He's got no shot. I'm not going to put $2 on that horse. But if you look deeper, sometimes that 30 to 1 is value that you might pass up once every 10 times, but it wins one time, and that's all you need. So
you make a great point, Jason, because I learned the same thing. Getting involved in tournaments actually makes you become a better horse player, because you're competing against a select group of horse players, many of whom are very talented. But, you know, like you said, in the cash world, oh my God, he's 40 to 1, he's got no shot. But in the tournament world, you have to kind of peel back the layers and say, you know what, this horse shouldn't be 40 to 1. He should maybe be 15 to 1.
Right. And that's an opportunity. You know, it's and you can do the same thing with a horse that's 9 to 2. If he's supposed to be 5 to 2 and he's 9 to 2, you know, you're getting value for your dollar. So, you know, it's just a different way of thinking. But yeah, the tournaments have really started that, and then, you know, kind of just soaking in other people's talking and knowledge has kind of helped me out with that. But
and you also mentioned speed figures, but I know you're a big pace guy as well. You also look at pace numbers.
For sure. Yeah. I really like to look at pace, obviously for how a race sets up, but I like to look at it as an indicator of how a horse is doing also. Sometimes you'll see like a big one that I like is when you see like the 2-year-olds turning 3. And you might see a horse that goes out there and it runs faster than it's ever run for the first 4 furlongs, but it's stopped and it doesn't look good on paper, but there's something there. They're, you know, whether they're short and they need a race or, you know, whatever it is, they're on the upswing, at least for part of that race. So you need to look, because the price is probably going to be good because the form is ugly. So, so yeah, it's pace is very important, and it kind of goes back to the speed figure too. So.
Well, let's kind of put some of those principles to test here. Excuse me, on today's 9-race card, kicking things off in race number 1, where we're sprinting once again the abbreviated sprint distance of 5 furlongs. This is a starter allowance race for fillies and mares who have started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less, either last year or this year. The turf rails today are at 20 feet, and race 1 begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. Field of 6, Moyne Lane favorite, and the current betting choice at 3 to 5 is number 4, Phenom. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Jason, let's take a look at a replay. 3 of these 6 runners exit the same race. It was back on February 16th. It was actually the 3rd race. And the runner that I want you to pay attention to, and I think you're going to agree with me, Jason, is number 5, Teen Drama. In this replay where they're running 6 furlongs, Teen Drama breaks from post position number 4. She never gets a breather. She's always hassled on the front end, for lack of a better word, and yet she's able to stop the clock in 1:08 and change. I thought it was a very dynamite type of performance, simply because she was dueling every step of the way. She gets Flavien Prat back in the saddle. So there's 3 runners in this race, but again, focus your attention on number 4, Teen Drama, as we listen to Frank Miramati describe the action.
Dulceama to the outside. They're all in line. And they're off. Stressed is going out for the early lead, battling in the opening furlong with Teen Drama. These 2 are 3 clear of New Collection in 3rd. Then Palio's Princess. Dulceama hesitated ever so slightly, and Awesome Taylor was off slowly in last. It's Stressed and Teen Drama. Bucking heads to the half-mile pole. New Collection is just behind them, 2 back in 3rd, and Palio's Princess at the rail 4th. Awesome Taylor, Dulceama together at the back. 9 lengths off the battle between Stressed and Teen Drama. It's Stressed at the rail. Teen Drama continues to press. Teen Drama's just in front. New Collections had a good trip, if good enough, in 3rd. Awesome Taylor is underway, racing on the outside of Palio's Princess. Top of the lane, Teen Drama just in front. Palio's Princess looking for room with the yellow blinkers, finding it now, but Teen Drama has opened up 3. Palio's Princess on the inside, and New Collection, followed by Awesome Taylor. It's Teen Drama, another for Flavien Prat.
Jason, Teen Drama was reclaimed by Steve Knapp. This was the first effort back in the Knapp barn, and what a performance it was. Seed is believing, at least for me. Teen Drama is right now 3 to 1 on the board. The second choice, who'd you like in race 1 and why?
She is my pick. She's my top pick in this race. I think Phenom is going to be tough, but she's obviously taking all the money coming out of the Wishing Well, that stakes down the hill last time. Yeah, it's going to look like, maybe a big drop in class. But I think what I like best about Team Drama is that she's on the upswing. In that last race, she did duel. She was much the best, but the way she did it, she was in hand, listening to Pratt's command, and she finished good. So I think Phenom's gonna duel, hopefully a little bit with the 1. And I think Team Drama, if she needs to, sitting on the outside, I think she can kind of just stalk them and see what happens and go from there.
5 and 4 in race number 1, according to our seminar guest, Jason Avila. Let's turn the page, take a look at race number 2. Begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We're sprinting 6.5 furlongs in the main track, $16,000 claimers. Number 6, Patron Dior on the bottom. First off the claim for Jesse Mendoza is the 4-5 morning line favorite. Out of the Miller barn into the Mendoza barn. Any concerns? Who's your pick and why?
Yeah, there's concerns. My pick is the 6. I don't like this race as far as a wagering opportunity. I think this horse should be on the front by himself. He's got a lot of questions, though. The claim was voided 2 back for Miller, and then Miller comes back and drops him in half and wins again easily. But he really wants to get rid of the horse. So, and Miller isn't Mendoza. So I don't know. I really couldn't take the price even if Miller was still training the horse. So, I mean, betting wise, I'm not going to be betting on the race, but my pick would be the 6, and then the 1 would be the horse that I'd take to try to beat the 6 if that was going to happen.
Let's take a look at race number 3. Ironically, today, race number 3 is the start of the $3 all-turf pick 3. We've got 3 turf races going from races 3 through 9. This is the first of those 3, so it begins the $3 all-turf pick 3. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the flat turf course. It's for 3-year-olds, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than a field of 7. Morning line favorite number 2, King of Gosford, invading from overseas for the Phil D'Amato barn. Did you talk to Phil about this runner? Do you got him on speed dial?
No, I don't. I try. I don't like information.
I don't either. Well, I like negative information.
I was just talking to Chappie upstairs about it, and
Your
that's
boss.
My boss. Yeah, that's the best information that you can get. The percentages, you get so many horses. People say, "Oh, this horse is doing great, can't lose." It never.
But they
happens.
don't know the other competitors in the field like we do as handicappers.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I don't bother Phil. He's
got enough on his plate.
He's got enough pressure, and the worst, just like us giving people horses to bet when they ask. Like, I feel bad when I give a loser.
Sure.
Sometimes people have to force me to give them a pick because I just don't like giving people losers.
Correct.
But, yeah, no.
You want to sink or swim on your own opinion and not force it on somebody else.
Exactly. But yeah, I watched the replays on Phil's colt here. This horse from ran in Ireland the last few times. The horse to me looks like it probably wants to go a little bit further. It's a kind of a lanky looking horse. I really like the 4 horse Raging Torrent for Doug O'Neill. The layoff is a concern, but I think this horse is going to want turf. And the horse has shown speed. The horse has run against some good horses. Was in the Springboard Mile, which is a moderate Derby prep back in Oklahoma, and had some trouble, some excuses, went to the shelf. I'm going to take a shot with Raging Torrent. I don't like 3-1, but I'm hoping it'll drift up a little bit. So I'm going to go with the 4 on top and then the 7 Final Boss underneath for Sadler.
It's interesting. Your top pick, Jason, number 4, Raging Torrent, also his first time Lasix, also puts the blinkers back on. So we'll see if those couple of equipment changes can help Raging Torrent with his first attempt on the turf course. Race number 4 begins the $1 pick 6 sequence. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for $30,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 races lifetime. Take note, number 4, Crowning Gold, is a first-time gelding, the morning line favorite, once again on the bottom. Number 7, Bags Gold, dropping out of allowance races for Bob Hess into a claiming race. 2-1 on the morning line, drawn outside with Edwin in the saddle. I think we know what that means from a riding instruction standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. I think the winner in this race comes from one of the outside posts. The 4, it's probably in the middle, but my top pick here is the 4. I thought the last 2 were too bad to believe. I think if that horse runs to race 3 back or anything close, I think he can do some damage here. Bags Gold, I don't. That horse is hard to gauge. He runs good and then he runs bad. He ran really bad last time. I can't take a short price on the horse. So yeah, I'm going to go with the 4 Crowning Gold in there, and then I'm going to take a shot with the 6 horse Soul of Midnight for the exacta. I think actually I was really I couldn't make a decision on who would be on top here, but I think the six is probably going to be closer. They took that horse back, strangled that horse last time, and I don't think that was the right move. So the 6 could win this race.
It's interesting. A couple of additional comments above and beyond what Jason just said. Number 6, Soul of Midnight. You can see first time in the Lee Baraccio barn last time out, ran a Beyer speed figure of 78. That's the best Beyer speed figure he's run in his 10-race career. Maybe further improvement is in store for the son of Straight Fire. Also interesting jockey change on Jason's top pick, number 4, Crowning Gold. Tony Frasu decides to ride, as I mentioned, first time gelding. That's a very interesting jockey change. He doesn't ride much for the Brian Corner barn, but he does get a top name jockey to ride. And number 7, Bags Gold, the morning line favorite we've been talking about. I would strongly encourage you to watch him in the saddling area, not necessarily the walking ring, but in the saddling area. He is one of the most difficult horses to saddle. As a matter of fact, there's only one valid in the room who actually wants to try and saddle that horse. That's how kooky he can be. So make sure you pay attention to him, because sometimes he tips his hand as to whether or not he's going to be well behaved on a particular afternoon. Race number 5 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. We're sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the flat turf course. Maiden Claimers, $50,000 is the tag. 2 first-time geldings here. The 6 and the 7 are both first-time geldings, and number 6, Pioneer Prince from the Richard Mandela barn, dropping out of maiden special weight events, is the 9-5 morning line favorite. This look, at least on paper, Jason, this looked to be like a good race. Who do you like and why?
Yeah, this race, we have the number 2 Crypto Craze for Mark Glatt that looks like it was a private purchase off of Mendez. Horse ran really big first time out. I'm going outside with Minister Shane for Carla Gaines. I think he's going to be sitting in the right spot. I think the extra half furlong helps him. Last race was good.
I'm going to bring you back to race 5, Jason.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Like I said, the hour time change messed us all up.
There we go. Race 5, top pick is the 8, Soldatna. This one's in for Mark Glatt. He didn't like coming off a layoff too. He didn't like the dirt in his face back on February 4th in 2023. Ran against a couple horses that can run a little bit. Henry Q was decent. I think this horse should do good on the turf, and Glatt's on fire.
He sure is.
I go to the outside here, hoping that he can show some speed and like the turf, and maybe get him at a little bit of a price.
Fair enough. And you also like in race number 5, number 1, Quintessence, who's had difficulty visiting the winner's circle, 0 for 15 lifetime, 8 seconds or thirds. What do you think might be the difference for Quintessence today?
Yeah, I just think he's always right there. And his numbers.
A good exotic horse.
Yeah, his numbers are there. I was kind of all over the place with who could finish out the exact. And I figured, you know what, this horse is always right there. Why not throw him in there?
Fair enough. We move on to race number 6, and you tipped your hand. But first things first, let's set the race up. Race 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 4, sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track. Calbred allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Here's the only scratch on today's card. Number 4, Desmond Doss, the original post-time favorite, or morning line favorite, I should say, has been declared out of the race. Now the revised morning line favorite is number 9, Jamming Eddie, who's 5-2 now on the revised morning line. 8 different ways you can go here, Jason. Sounds like you're going with number 8, Minister Shane.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to go with Minister Shane. Crypto Craze, this horse is fast, and I don't know, I know, like I said, Glatt's been hot, but I think this horse is going to take a lot of money, and I just don't know that he's going to run back to that initial first out.
It's a big step up, right? Maiden 20 to the non-winners of 1 level.
Big step up, and I think Minister Shane will, like I said, get the trip. I think the half furlong helps. So yeah, I'm going to take a little shot here and try to get Minister Shane up.
Minister Shane, Jason's top pick, actually broke this condition, and given the rules of the condition book, you can break this condition on the turf course, and then you can come right back as a Calbred and break the condition on the main track, which is what Minister Shane's trying to do today. He's had 5 starts over the main track. 4 of them resulted in either second or third place finishes. Maybe today's the day. Morning line odds of 5-1, at least originally, likely to come down with a revised morning line. Race number 7 is our feature race on the card, and also this is the last race of the all-turf pick 3. It's the China Doll Stakes for 3-year-old fillies traveling 1 mile on the turf course. We've got a field of 6. Number 5, Madero from the Pete Urtenbard is 2-1 on the morning line. Once again, Jason, before we get your thoughts on the race, let's take a look at a replay. This is a replay of the Sweet Life Stakes. This race was run at 6.5 furlongs. back on February 11th. And the runner that I want you to pay attention to is number 6, Zona Verde. It's going to be difficult to see because it's a full field coming down the hillside turf course, but she's the gray kind of near the back of the pack, and she's going to make a big, bold move late. And like I said, this race of the replay we're about to watch was run at 6.5 furlongs. Today's distance of this race is going to be 1 mile. So let's watch the gray breaking out of post position number 4, Zona Verde, and listen to Frank Miramati describe the action of the Sweet Life Stakes.
And they're off in the Sweet Life. And Julia's Dream bounces out alertly. So does Elegant. Those two hook up right away. And in the mix, Dial a Friend in the pink silks as they run down the hill. And so Dial a Friend speeds up on the outside to take a narrow lead from Elegant. Down at the rail, Girl of My Dreams is right there in third. They are followed by Alluring in the fourth spot. Visually is next, followed by Sea Dancers, 7 lengths off the lead. Then comes Julia's Dream, who is racing toward the back of the field suddenly, 12 lengths off the pace. She was passed by the Gray's Zona Verde. Another 2 lengths to Antifona, racing on the inside of Granny Budgie, and the distant trailer is Voodoo Magic. They have a 1/4 mile to go, and Dial a Friend leads them into the stretch, opens up a 2-length advantage with an 1/8 mile to go. In the center of the racecourse, Antifona is starting to finish with a flourish. And here comes Antifona, going 3 to their 1, coming to the 16th pole, right up to Dial a Friend and right on by. Late run from Zona Verde, but it will be Antifona and Hector Barrios to win this.
Jason, Zona Verde, as we saw them cross over the dirt course onto the stretch run, had all sorts of trouble, couldn't get out late, kind of came rallying late to get up second. And if you look at the past performances, she's had 9 lifetime starts with 2 victories. Both of them came at today's distance at 1 mile. After that race, your buddy Phil D'Amato actually said that this was a prep for the China Doll on this particular day. So nothing, hasn't missed a beat. Sure looks like Zona Verde is going to be tough to beat off that replay.
Yeah, that replay looked like the running of the bulls down the stretch. Yeah, I did see where Phil said that, and just the way she finished up after that trouble. The winner, Antifona, ran big, but I like Zona Verde here. I think she stays out of trouble today, obviously with a shorter field and there's, going longer. She's going to get, all the space in the world that she needs. And I just think she's at this point the better filly in the race. So I'm not going to try to get cute. I'm going to stick with Zona Verde on top, and then Antifona in second.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 8. Begins the $1 golden hour pick 4 wager. Have you been paying attention to the payouts in the $1 golden hour pick 4, both yesterday and on Friday? In both days, in both instances, the golden hour pick 4 paid in excess of $7,000 for a $1 golden hour pick 4 sequence. Tremendous payouts the last couple of days. We'll see what it pays today. And we kick things off here in race number 8, sprinting 5.5 furlongs in the main track. Maiden claiming Calbred 3-year-olds in for a $50,000 tag. A good field of 9. Morning line favorite on the bottom. Excuse me, not on the bottom, but in post position number 8 is Final Storm from the Dean Pedersen barn. 5-2 according to John White. Final Storm dropping down in class. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Jason, one more thing to look at, and this is a workout courtesy of our friends at xbtv.com. The horse you're looking at right now is Mixto. I'm old enough to remember that Mixto ran in the Big Cap a week ago today, last Sunday. That's him right now. What you're going to see in just a moment is Final Storm pick him up right there. That's Final Storm on the outside. And as he makes up this distance of ground in between himself and Mixto, you'll see that it's a very, very good workout. Of course, Mixto started earlier, so that's why he's got the 5 furlong recording. But here comes our friend Final Storm. And, given the caliber of his workmate here, this is not a maiden 50 that he's working with. He's working with a horse that ran in a grade 1 event. And as they turn for home here and enter the stretch, you'll see that certainly Final Storm more than holds his own. They're going to hit the wire together once they get there. But you can also see the exercise rider on Final Storm is not asking him for anything whatsoever. He actually takes him a little bit wide into the home stretch as well. So in my opinion, and I know you also watch workouts on XBTV, Jason, this was a very, very good work for a maiden 50, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. He's moving well. Like you said, he hooks in with Mixto, who's obviously much better than this claiming 50 group. He's my second choice. In this race, I went with, I kind of talked earlier about how I like looking at figures, speed figures, and improvement from 2 to 3. The 4-horse Dance Man for Lonnie Powell in this race fits that bill. They ran in the same race last time. Dance Man was on the rail, got rushed up, took all the heat, and then kind of stopped, and it looked a little bit ugly late. But
a better pace number.
Yeah.
Just like you were describing.
Exactly. So I think today, the thing in that race, Final Storm was able to track, and I didn't love the way Final Storm finished. I thought he should have finished a little bit better. I know he's dropping in Class 2, but I think Dance Man is hopefully on an upward trajectory, and Final Storm might be kind of leveling downward or staying even. So hopefully, Pratt's on, so I don't know, how good of a price we'll get, but I think the cutback and I think getting off the rail and the drop in class should help Dance Man.
Both of Jason's top selections, 4 and 8 in race number 8, exit the same race as he mentioned on January 7th. That race has proven to be productive. There's been 3 next out winners already out of that race just from a field of 9. So certainly they both exit a race, which seems to be a key race. We close out the day and we close out the week in race number 9. Keep in mind that live racing will resume here at Santa Anita this coming Friday. First post time on Friday, as I mentioned earlier, will be 1 p.m. Pacific time. But first things first, race 9 offers the $5 golden hour daily double wagering. Similar concept. Last race here with the last race at Golden Gate. We're going 1 mile on the main track. $20,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 races lifetime. Field of 9 in the morning lane favorite, number 6, Montana, who had trouble last time and closed to just get beat, finishing in second place, is the 5-2 morning line favorite. We need a winner to close it out here, Jason. Who's it going to be and why?
This is a tough race. There's a lot of pace in here. I think it's going to be fast early. I'm going to take a shot with the 7, Take Charge Curly for Phil Oviedo and Jeremy Laprida. So this horse, he's a closer. It was a weak field last time, but I think the effort was a little better than it looks. Jeremy Laprida knew what he had to do. He was shoving this horse on the backside, and he rode the hair off this horse the whole race. And I loved it. I bet him, obviously, that adds a little bit to it, but I think he's going to get a setup again. There's no reason why he can't improve a little bit off of that race. So hopefully they can go fast early, and he can ride his butt off again and maybe finish and catch him at a price. But it's a tough race.
You give a little love to Montana, understandably so, on a 3-race Beyer speed figure progression pattern. The barn is red hot as well with limited starters. He's no slam dunk, but he's going to be a contender. For sure.
Yeah, he like I said, it's going to be a fast pace. He's hard to knock. But he's going to have to take all the heat and keep doing what he's doing. So
I'm old enough. I'm going to throw a runner out here, which I normally don't do, but in the nightcap, I'm going to throw a runner out there for the players to consider. It's number 4, Ferociously. I'm old enough to remember that John Sadler won yesterday's last race with a first off the claim runner by the name of Headed for who was very spectacular first time on the turf course. It seems like John claimed that horse for that particular venture going on the turf course. And likewise here with Ferociously, he claimed this horse. And what does he do? Not only does he bump him up in class, but he stretches him out. He's got early speed. We'll see if maybe the softer pace can help him. He's never been around 2 turns, but I have a feeling that's why John claimed him. And ignore those statistics in the racing form because it's a small sample. Over the last 5 years, first off the claim, the Sadler Barn's done it 92 times with 14 winners, not counting yesterday. That's a 15% win clip for first off the claim. Jason, it's been a pleasure shooting the breeze with you. Welcome to the organization. You obviously have a passion for racing. It's an honor to have you be on board. It's also an honor to have you be part of the seminar today. Thanks so much for your time and insight.
Of course, TQ. Thanks for having me.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Next voice you hear will be track announcer Frank Miramati updating us with any program changes. Also keep in mind before we leave, one more wager to keep in mind, and that's the Coast to Coast Pick 5 offered every Saturday and Sunday. It kicks off today with Gulfstream Park Race 9. It's a low 15% takeout with a $1 minimum. Always pays well. The Coast to Coast. Make sure you get involved. Thanks again, everybody. Good luck and have fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon. Welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast. The turf is firm. The rail on the turf out 20 feet. There's just one change on today's card. Changes in race 1, start of the early pick 5. No changes in the second, start of the early pick 4. We have blinker notes in the third. The fourth starts the $1 pick 6. And in the fourth, there are no changes. Changes in the fifth. In the sixth, scratch number 4, Desmond Doss, Santa Anita Park's morning line odds maker John White has issued a revised morning line for race 6. In the seventh, the China Doll, there are no changes. Eighth race starts the golden hour pick 4 with no changes. Ninth race kicks off the golden hour double. No changes. Enjoy your afternoon. They'll be at the gate at the Great Race Place in 27 minutes at 1 p.m. Every Saturday and Sunday, we offer the Coast to Coast Pick 5. It starts in 34 minutes with Gulfstream's 9th.